So welcome to level 5 MBOT, where we will going to understand about the Arduino microcontroller and its programming. What is Arduino microcontroller, how it works, what are the properties of Arduino microcontroller, that we will see, and then we will discuss about how to program it and this. So let's discuss about first topic is programming. What is programming? So programming basically means instructions given to microcontroller to run the robot or machines as we desire. So it's nothing but instructions. We give instructions to the robot, that is programming. Like I am giving instruction to you, so it's like I am programming your mind. Same way, if we give instruction to the robot, so that is programming. The basic meaning of programming is instructions. Now, what is microcontroller? Let's discuss this. So, microcontroller is an integrated circuit to do specific task. It is an integrated circuit to do specific task. Now, what is integrated? Integrated means the combinations of different circuits. That is called integrated circuit. So, integrated circuit, it is the integrated circuit which is used to do a specific task. Like you want to do a robo car to move forward for 5 seconds, to take left turn or right turn, that is a specific task. You want to have some home automation system, that is also a specific task. So you want some specific task, then microcontroller can do that. So what is microcontroller? A microcontroller is an integrated circuit that is used to do specific tasks. Now what is integrated here? Integrated means combinations of many circuits, that is integrated. We integrate many circuits, that is called a integrated circuit. Now there are dozens of microcontroller available in market, but we are going to use Arduino microcontroller. Now Arduino microcontroller is very famous in robotics because its language is very easy to understand, and with the help of Arduino we can make many real-time projects. Now let's understand what is Arduino and what are the pin diagram of it, that we will understand in this. So Arduino has a total 14 digital pins, like from 0 to 13. As you can see in the image, like we have the digital pins from 0 to 13, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 to 13. So we have the digital pins 13, we have analog pins A0 to A5, we have two power pins 5 volt and 3.3 volt pin. We have 3 GNDs, one is a digital GND and 2 is the normal GNDs, and we can power up the Arduino in the 3 ways. There is a first is a USB plug-in, and the second is a jack pin, and the third is a VN. So these are the property we discussed about the Arduino, and at the center there is a big chip, this IC, you can see that. So that IC is nothing but that Arduino microcontroller which is used for the programming, and other all are accessories to help us. So this is the Arduino microcontroller you can see in your image. Now let's discuss more in detail. So in this discussion, two words which is required to understand, that is analog and digital. I have told you that there are two types of pins, that is digital pins and analog pins. So digital pins we have 14, from 0 to 13 we have digital pins. Analog we have A0 to A5, we have analog pins. Now what is the difference between analog pin and digital pins? That is very important to understand. So what is analog pin, or we can say what is analog signal, that we have to discuss first, right? So what is analog signal? So analog signal is any continuous signal for which the time varying feature of a signal is a representation of some time varying quantity. What is the meaning of it? It means that the value of the analog signal continuously changes. Its value continuously changes at the time change. So it's like right now the value is suppose 230, then it will become 231, 32, 33, 34, and gradually it will increase. So it will not be like 230 then directly 0. So it will be, suppose if we start from 0, then from 0 it will not directly goes to 1. It will start from 0, then 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, and then they will go to the 1. So gradually the value is increasing with the time. So the signal whose value changes gradually with the time, that is called analog signals. The next one is a digital signal. So what is digital signal? In digital signal the value is changing with the steps. So directly it change, like it's 0, then it will directly go to 100, or 0 it will directly go to 1. So there is no values in between from 0 to 100, directly from 0 to 100. So if you are getting value in the signal with the steps like 0, then directly 5, directly 10, directly 15, or 0, directly 1, in between no value like 0.1, 0.2 you cannot get, you can directly get 1. So if you are getting a value in the steps, then that is called digital signal. We can discuss in the example like a digital watch and analog watch. In analog watch, what happens, there is the hands which are moving. So in that you can decide the time like 10 o'clock, 10 minutes and this much second, and if you shoot your analog watch with a slow motion, you can decide also milliseconds, that right now it's 10 milliseconds, 20 milliseconds, 30 milliseconds, every value you can get in the analog watch. But digital watch you what you get 10 o'clock and 10 minutes, and after that you have to wait for the 11. Okay, there is no value after 10. So 10 o'clock 10 minutes, then 10 o'clock directly 11. So in the digital you are getting the step value from 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13. So no value in between. So that is called a digital signals. So in the Arduino we have the two types of pin, digital pins and analog pins. So in digital pins are again input and output both. So digital pin can take inputs also and can take outputs also. So it can take only two types of value, 0 or 5 volt. It cannot take in between, that is the digital. So it's a steps, 0 or 5, nothing in between. So it cannot take 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt. It can take 0 and directly 5, or we can say 0 and 1. 1 is like a 5. Okay, so 0 and 5 volt only the digital pin can take, and it can also give, it's an output pin also. So input and output pins is also very important concept. Input means you can give input from the outside, and output means you can get the output from the Arduino. So this both the digital input and output pins can give or get 5 volt or 0 volt, nothing in between. Okay, and in analog pins from A0 to A5 are the input pins. So you can give the inputs from the outside, from the sensors or something else. So that inputs can be 0, 1 volt, 2 volt, 3 volt, 4 volt, 5 volt, any voltage you can give to it. So there is no steps in this. So that is called analog signal. So if you have a sensor which gives a value like 1.1 or 1.035, so that value also you can read in analog. But in digital, if you give 1.035, it will read 0 only. If you give value 4 volt, it will read 5. So in digital pins it can read 0 and 5 only. In analog pin it can read 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, any value from 0 to 5 volt in the analog pins.